What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 19 of the Super Grapple Bros podcast about two brothers who are former WWE employees that happen to love both video games and, it makes sense since we both worked at WWE. We're fans of wrestling too. Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Damn wrestling. There's a big wrestling event coming up at the end of this month.
Yeah.
SummerSlam, the second biggest event of the year.
A little over a week from now, right?
Yeah, just over a week
from Sunday.
We will not be available to do a podcast. My chair is clicking like crazy. We will not be able to do a podcast or do our regular predictions next week because we're both going to be on vacation. We're going away. We're going to Disney World with the family.
Yeah.
And so what we are going to do is we are taking a 2-week break of full episodes. We might do a little special reaction video on my cell phone live stream that I might put out as an unofficial episode if I can somehow record the audio version.
Yeah.
And that'll live on as a bonus episode.
Yeah.
But we're not going to be able to, do a lot of stuff, do a full episode. And again, I don't know if we're going to be able to get this out in audio form. So we want to do our predictions for SummerSlam this weekend in this episode. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go through all of SummerSlam, and there is a lot of it. In addition to NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3, we're skipping the weekly wrap-up, and we're just going straight into predictions. Then we're going to cut into our video game news because we got a lot of Overwatch stuff to talk about over on that side. We have our weekly Overwatch news.
Yes, we do.
Yes. Hello to Big Stupid in the chat.
Yeah, you're back.
No, I'm not tired enough. I'm never going to be tired enough to not want to carry my pretty-ass belt. I'm dressed like a true champ. Like a true champ in my work outfit.
For once.
By the way, this is a legitimate question. This isn't me trying to be smug. Do you happen to know off the top of your head how many days you held the title in between the two pay-per-views? Because I might be coming up close, and SummerSlam was a long ways away.
It's definitely close. I'm not sure though.
We got to figure out the exact dates.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it will possibly beat it just because of the fact of it was 3 weeks away from the last pay-per-view or something like that. I don't know, but we can always...
Yeah, we got to figure that out, but whether I win or lose, I may be longest reigning. Might be end still, and if I am end still, I think I will definitely become longest reigning.
Yeah, definitely at that point, yeah.
So, there's a lot on the line here with SummerSlam and our predictions. Let's go into my handy-dandy notebook. Game of Thrones, what up? The night is dark and full of terrors. And we are going to get started with TakeOver Brooklyn 3 before we get into SummerSlam proper.
Yep.
And I'm a lefty, so I'm going to have to switch the good old belt over here to this side. And we are kicking things off with the returning Johnny Gargano in action against Andrade Cien Almas, who's going to have that crazy chick at ringside with him.
Yep.
I believe that as much as they're trying hard to get Almas going and give him a new push and a new angle, they're not going to squander Gargano in his first match back, I don't think.
It's not his first match back.
Well, his first his first singles takeover match.
Yeah.
Then again, who knows? Maybe they'll try to build a program and it'll go until the next takeover. But we also don't know when Ciampa's going to be back, so he might be facing Ciampa and rivalry with Ciampa by the time that happens. So I think Gargano is going to win this one. Champion picks first, right?
Yep. Champion picks
as
first.
Remembered. And there's also the champion's advantage. If we tie in predictions, tie goes to the champion.
Yep.
So yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Johnny Gargano. I could see Almas with outside help picking up a sneak victory, but I think Gargano's a safer bet. I think it'd be smart. I think it'd be better for Gargano's character to do it. But again, that all depends on when Ciampa's coming back and if they want to have a prolonged program between Gargano and Almas. But I'm going to go with Gargano.
You see, what I'm thinking here is I'm thinking it's probably going to be Gargano, but I'm going to go with Almas just because of the fact that of any match, all the rest of the matches, I have a feeling we're probably going to agree with for TakeOver.
This is the one where you can disagree.
This is the one where I think if there's a chance that we would be wrong, that it would be this one.
All right, so you're going to go with Almas.
Yes.
Then we're moving on to Hideo Itami and Aleister Black. And Hideo Itami has done well in his heel role. He's done really well. I liked what they did last week. I didn't see anything if they did anything this week in NXT. But I don't think the Aleister Black train is stopping yet. I don't think they're going to have him lose yet.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if, I mean, this is giving my predictions away early for the main event, but I wouldn't be surprised if McIntyre wins because he hasn't lost yet, and you get a Black versus McIntyre title match, title and streak, the title and both men's undefeated streaks on the line.
Similar to what they did with Ember Moon and Asuka.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna go with Aleister Black here. I think Itami is going to push Black to the limit, and it's gonna be the hardest fought victory that Black has had for a while. And Black hasn't had a hardest fought victory with exception to his matches against Bobby Fish and why am I blanking on his name? Because he's a major star in ROH. Who did he wrestle last week? Kyle O'Reilly.
Yep.
And Kyle O'Reilly.
Well, he also had a pretty damn good match with Cassius Ohno too.
Yes.
But yeah, I know what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. I do not see Black losing at this point.
No. Then we've got Sanity versus the Authors of Pain. I don't know who's gonna win this. Like, I feel like it would be a really big letdown if Sanity wins, because I don't really buy into this rivalry, and I think TM61's gonna come back soon, and I want them to be the ones to beat Authors of Pain because they have history going back to the Dusty Classic last year.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to see that. I think it'd be interesting if, say, Authors of Pain win, and I keep hitting this, so sorry. And if maybe they decree that since they've beaten everyone there is to beat, the Dusty Rhodes Classic won't just be for a trophy, but maybe for a number one contendership at the NXT tag titles. And maybe they take the tag title, take that event off, the takeover where that finals is. Or maybe they do the finals and the takeover has a title match right after that. And then TM61 returns and fights and wins the number one contendership.
Maybe.
So. It's weird because I feel like this could be a total takeover of Sanity as well. We might see maybe Eric Young go after McIntyre for the NXT title, and it makes them a more legitimate threat if they have the tag titles. So I don't know. I'm at the flip of a coin.
Feel better if I made my pick first?
No, champion always picks first. So.
I know, but I'm saying if you are having a hard time deciding and you want to allow me to, I feel like that would be allowed.
You know what?
Because it's kind of champion's discretion at this point if you're not sure, and the other person is already sure.
Yeah, I was thinking Authors of Pain, but I think I've talked myself down that ledge, and I think I might go with Sanity. Because, if Sanity loses this, they have no momentum. I feel like Sanity kind of needs the win. Authors of Pain kind of need the win too, because I don't feel like they're really anything without the tag titles, but they can always maybe challenge and win them back. And then you get the rematch, then maybe you get TM61 versus Authors of Pain or something. So you know what? I was thinking Authors of Pain. I've talked myself out of it. Now I'm going to go with Sanity.
I'm going to go with Authors of Pain.
Okay.
I do not see them losing the titles now. They're looking too strong in this rivalry. And I could easily see Sanity losing, but then doing something like attacking Authors of Pain and having Eric Young come out and help, and they go after the tag titles again.
Mm-hmm.
If TM61 doesn't show up and challenge them for it, while Eric Young tries to go after the NXT title.
Yeah. Then we've got Asuka versus Ember Moon. Not much really has to get talked about this. I know it's going to be Ember Moon. They've been pegging and grooming Ember Moon to be the one to take the title from Asuka and hand her first defeat ever since Ember Moon came in and Asuka won the women's championship.
Yeah.
So I believe this is finally going to happen. This is the culmination of about almost a year's worth of character development for both Asuka and Ember Moon. And Ember is going to be your next champion. And we may see Asuka get called up after SummerSlam. Unless we see that rivalry continue further. But I'm pretty sure Ember Moon's going to win this.
I'm going to go with Ember Moon as well. And I think they're going to do something. It's definitely different, but similar storyline-wise to what they did with Sasha and Charlotte, where Sasha tried to win the title from Charlotte, she finally won the title in a fatal 4-way match, and they continued the rivalry to one more takeover, so that way Charlotte could get her mandatory rematch for the title, and Sasha beat Charlotte in that match. I think they're going to do a similar thing where Ember Moon's finally going to win the title from Asuka. They're going to extend it to the next takeover or whatever to give Asuka her mandatory rematch, especially since she's been undefeated and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Ember Moon will prove that she can beat Asuka in their rubber match, basically retain the title, and then Asuka's going to go up to the main roster.
Yeah.
And then at that point, probably Nikki Cross or Ruby Riott or someone like that's probably going to come in, or maybe someone from the Mae Young Classic.
Mm-hmm. And then the main event, Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Roode. I don't think Drew McIntyre is going to get his first loss here. Ever since he came in, it was like he's the next NXT champion. I saw him as the next NXT champion. And not that Bobby Roode's been a bad champion, but he hasn't really been the greatest. He's been good, but he's had a really long reign, and I think it's time for him to lose the title. And I don't know what's going to happen if he's going to go to the main roster, if he's going to keep fighting McIntyre after the fact, but I feel like now's the time to crown Drew McIntyre.
Mm-hmm. I personally, I'm going to say McIntyre as well. Although I have to say, I've been loving this glorious era of NXT. I'm a huge fan of Roode.
His glorious era?
Yes, and I have a feeling he's going to lose to McIntyre, maybe not at the next TakeOver, but at a match, at an NXT. He's going to get his mandatory rematch for the title, and he's going to lose to Drew McIntyre, and then they're going to continue and to the next TakeOver finish off the rivalry between Bobby Roode and Roderick Strong, seeing as how they have been continuing that storyline, where he's even saying, I don't care about the title, I just want to get my hands on Bobby Roode.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I think they're going to go from there, and then probably do Eric Young or someone like that going after the NXT title.
Yeah. Or Aleister Black.
Or Aleister Black, or could be a lot of people.
Yeah.
Could be Gargano even.
All right. Now we move on to SummerSlam 2017, the big one. There is a ton of matches to get through. And the first one is the Cruiserweight Championship match, Neville versus Akira Tozawa. I'm going with Neville because I feel like nobody is on the Neville level, and I don't think Tozawa could win. I don't think Neville deserves to lose that championship yet. Could I see it happening? Yes, because Tozawa's got the whole Titus brand thing, and a win with the Cruiserweight Championship would give some credence to the Titus brand, give it some legitimacy. But I just don't think it's gonna happen. I feel like nobody's been beating Neville. I mean, it probably could happen, and then Neville could win it back. But I don't know. Maybe it's just me saying more subconsciously saying that I don't want to see Neville lose the championship.
Okay, so you're going with Neville.
Yeah,
then?
I'm gonna go with Neville.
Here's how I view it. I want Neville to win, but I think Tozawa's going to win. It's going to give Tozawa the title, give him something that a lot of people think he deserves, going to give some credence, as you said, to the Titus brand, because Titus brand, people are loving it.
Worldwide?
Yeah, Titus Worldwide. It's going to be giving it even more. It's going to be giving it even more credit. And you know what? It's kind of on the side, also kind of helps out Apollo Crews.
Mm-hmm.
Because hey, this guy that
Tozawa
he's working with is a champion.
Maybe Cruz can become a success.
Exactly. So I think it's just going to help them out overall, and then they're going to continue the rivalry for at least another month till the next pay-per-view. I think it's going to be a hard-fought match. Neville's going to focus on Tozawa's shoulder, but I think Tozawa's going to end up pulling out the victory.
You're probably right, and I'm probably regretting this because my heart, like you said, my heart is telling me Neville, and my gut is telling me...
No one is on the Neville level.
My gut and my brain is telling me Tozawa, and I probably should go with my gut and my brain like you are, but I'm not. And I'm probably going to pay for it, but we will see. Maybe I'll get lucky, and maybe Neville will win by DQ. Maybe he'll see that Tozawa is on the Neville level, and so he'll get out. Well, even if he loses that, even if he does it that way, he technically still loses.
Yeah,
we'll see. Maybe he tries some dirty tactics and wins. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
And we got Finn Balor, who will most assuredly come out as the Demon King once again, versus Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt doesn't stand a chance at this. You got to keep Finn Balor strong. You don't want Finn Balor to lose as Demon King Balor in just his second appearance. So
on the main roster, yeah.
Yeah, I hate to say it because we keep saying Wyatt needs wins. He needs more wins to build his credibility. But we all knew the second they teased or were rumoring this rivalry, as much as we want Wyatt to get wins, it's not going to happen against Balor. So I'm going with Finn Balor.
Yeah. I'm going to agree with you. It's going to be Balor. And the thing is, I don't think right now Wyatt needs a win so much as they need to give them the time to have a good, long, hard-fought match. That's what they need to do. That's what Bray Wyatt needs in this match, because no one really thinks that Bray Wyatt is going to win, but he needs to look strong coming out of this match. Win or lose, if they make him look strong, that's all they need, because then they could have him pair up with someone else for another rivalry and win on top of that. So as long as they make him look strong, he'll be good.
Yep. Orton versus Rusev. I think Orton's going over. I think the fact that Rusev is against Orton is enough push for him, and I'm sure they'll make him look good and strong. But I don't think he's going to pick up a victory. I don't think they're at that point yet with his repackaged or returned character where they're going to give him a win over somebody the likes of Orton or Cena. So I'm going to say Orton, but Rusev's going to make it tough. Going to make it difficult for him.
See, the thing is, I really want to pick Rusev, but I'm thinking it's probably going to be Orton. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Orton because the way this match is probably going to go is it's probably going to be very hard fought and then LOL RKO out of nowhere.
Yep, out of nowhere. Then we've got Naomi versus Natalya for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And Naomi's been so hot on fire with her glow gimmick, especially like the last 6 years. Not 6 years, 6 months. And has been so good as champion, even if her competition hasn't been great. Case in point right here. Not to knock Natalya, but she's getting up there in age. She's getting a little sluggish. She never had the best character. Her strength was her wrestling. Yeah. So, like, she's not the strongest competition. Becky and Charlotte are better.
Well, I mean, that's also just want to throw that. To me, I've been noticing that, but it seems more like the way they've been booking the matches. Because in the matches, especially because of the way they're trying to make a character, she hasn't been doing that much in matches and hasn't gone the distance. But I think in this kind of situation, you'll see her real strength in her wrestling.
Well, I don't think Naomi's going to lose this match.
Yeah, I understand.
I think if Carmella cashes in afterwards, because it was brought up to me, they are in Brooklyn.
Exactly.
Which is right near
and she's
Jersey.
The princess of Staten Island.
Yeah, she's from Staten Island, so she could cash in and win. But then again, she's a heel. Do they want that hometown pop from a cash-in like that?
Well, did you make your pick already?
Yeah, I'm going with Naomi.
I'm going to pick Naomi, and I'm definitely 100% predicting that Carmella comes out afterwards, cashes in, and beats Naomi for the Women's Championship. That is another bonus prediction I am throwing in there.
Okay. Doesn't count towards our predictions, but noted.
Okay.
It doesn't count towards the official predictions, because I would predict the same thing, probably.
Okay. So, but I'm saying that's 100% what I think is going to happen.
Then we've got the New Day versus the Usos for the SmackDown Tag Titles in the rubber match. I don't see the New Day losing here. They just won their titles. I think you give the New Day longer than a 1 month reign. As amazingly on fire as the Usos have been, I don't think the New Day loses their championships. I'm picking all the champions to retain. What is wrong with me? I mean, they could very well win, and the Usos could continue to run roughshod all over the rest of the tag division. And this doesn't necessarily mean that their rivalry is over for good, but I feel like you just put the tag titles in the New Day. The New Day are still as hot as ever, just as the Usos are.
Yeah, and they're the longest reigning tag champs in the history.
I feel like you got to give them longer than a 1 month reign, so I'm going to go with the New Day retaining.
I'm going to say one thing to help build your confidence a little.
What?
There are other title matches coming up, because with this, there's a shitload of them.
Yeah.
But I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to say New Day is going to win. I want the Usos to win simply because of the fact that it would continue this rivalry, and I want that so badly.
Yeah.
They are doing so well. I feel like this might be best of the night.
Yeah.
Not 100%, but it's going to be one of the best of the night at the very least.
Yeah, and Big Stupid, he said, Big Stupid says they did this before I could see a best of 3. This is the end of the best of 3. They've already had this is their third match already. They had the first one at what was it, Money in the Bank, or no? What was it?
Something like that. I
It
think
was
may
a
have
money.
been
It was a Money in the
Bank.
Bank. It was the best
And
match.
then they had the second match of
then there was
Battleground.
the Usos walked out. So that was match 1. Then they had Battleground where the New Day won. That was 2. So now this is match 3. This is the rubber match. This is the end of the best of 3 here.
It's funny. It's a rubber match, but technically the New Day is up 2-0.
Yeah, technically.
Oh, wrestling.
Then I'll do John Cena versus Baron Corbin. Part of me wants to say that Cena would lay down for Corbin, but I don't think so. Corbin's got the briefcase, and if he does what I think he's gonna do at the end of the night,
Same.
he can eat the loss. So I'm gonna go with John Cena. I got Cena winning at SummerSlam over Corbin.
I'm gonna say the same thing. I don't see John Cena losing at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And
Plus, like I
agree
said,
with you with Corbin.
I think they've got bigger plans for Corbin.
Oh yeah.
On next Sunday night.
Yeah.
Then we've got the match of the night, the match everybody wants to see. Big Show versus Big Cass with Enzo in the shark tank suspended above the ring. And I think Big Cass is going to win this one.
You know who I think is definitely going to win this match? Not the fans.
Who would have thought last year Enzo and Cass
debuting
right
around SummerSlam.
Well, yeah, later on at SummerSlam and at Raw or whatever, to a huge ovation, and this might go to a dead crowd.
Yeah.
So, which I think is because of the fact that they already blew their load metaphorically on Big Show and Cass on Raw a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I think Big Cass is going to win this one, and then Cass is going to go on and do his thing, and then Enzo and Show will probably maybe be a tag team, or Enzo will be Show's mouthpiece. And they'll be packaged together and go and do their own thing.
Yeah.
Maybe go into the tag division.
Something like that. But yeah, I think Cass is going to win. And I think it's going to be the second time of the night, if this goes on afterwards, that a heel is going to win in their hometown of Brooklyn.
Yeah. Then we've got AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens with Shane McMahon as a special referee. I want to say that AJ is going to retain. I mean, but AJ and Shane do have history with at WrestleMania. I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a Shane heel turn, because you do have two faces and authority figures for a while, and Shane's been a face since he came back. So I wouldn't be surprised if you saw maybe Shane turn heel and be a jerk to AJ. But at the same time, I would also love to see this be a furthering of a tease of maybe a Shane versus Kevin Owens match at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, I'm picking a champion to retain. I think I'm gonna go with AJ Styles.
Yeah, I am too. I think AJ is gonna win, and Owens is gonna blame Shane for it, and
Which
it's
is
gonna
gonna
lead to something
fester
between
to-
them. Yeah.
I think that's gonna fester for a few months, and then I think it may come to a head at, say, Survivor Series. Sorry, my throat's bothering me. I'm drying up. I need some water. Where, say, Shane puts himself in the Survivor Series Raw versus SmackDown match, and maybe he costs them the match, or maybe he does something to piss off Kevin Owens, and Owens, in his typical fashion, just obliterates Shane, and maybe Shane's hurt for a few months, and then he comes back just in time for WrestleMania to get Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon.
Yeah, exactly.
So I could see that happening. We're playing the long game in the world of booking.
We're getting to SummerSlam and we're booking WrestleMania.
Yep. Now then we've got I need to take a swig of water. Because you can read the next two predictions. It's the big title matches.
Yeah, we're gonna do those and then do the possibles.
Yeah, we're gonna do potentials afterwards.
Okay. So next is going to be the most prestigious title in WWE, held by probably one of the least prestigious champions in WWE, Jinder Mahal, defending his WWE Championship against Shinsuke Nakamura.
Shinsuke Nakamura. I think whether Mahal retains or not, Shinsuke is going to win. Be that on a technicality or actuality. I think what's going to happen, though, is that Nakamura is going to probably get possibly fight his way through not just Mahal, but probably the Singh brothers and Khali. Take them both out.
Apparently Khali's already done with WWE.
Oh, is he?
That's what they're saying.
Well, maybe the Singh brothers, maybe Khali if he's there. And then he's going to be celebrating as the champion. And then from behind with the briefcase, Baron Corbin lays him out with the briefcase from behind, hands it to the ref. Ref rings the bell. He attacks him. And I don't think we've actually ever seen a cash-in where the cashier, or cashie, I think it is, jumps the person before he cashes in from behind with the briefcase. I think a lot of times it's just been an ambush on a weakened opponent where their music hits and they come down and then maybe they attack them. But, like, I don't think we've seen an out-of-nowhere jump from behind cash-in before, have we?
Miz.
Did he?
I forget exactly who he faced, but Randy Orton, defended the title against someone, and then Miz came out, beat him down after that with the briefcase because he was, like, injured shoulder. So he hit him with the briefcase and was like, come on. And then Orton got up and he hit him with...
Well, to be fair, that was, what, WrestleMania 28?
Yeah, it's been a while.
That was like 5 years ago. That was so, like, it's been a while, since somebody's done that. So it is overdue for something like that to happen again. So,
and Ziggler did that too after 29.
Plus, Corbin and Nakamura have a really good story going.
Exactly, they've already got history.
Their matches are getting better with each other. So I think this is going to be a good story. Gets the title off of Jinder finally, thank God. And then we get a really interesting title program with Nakamura. And Nakamura finally eats his first loss, but it's on with a huge asterisk on it because he will have gotten laid out from behind after fighting a grueling WWE title match, and basically got screwed over by Corbin.
Yeah, I think exactly.
And then and then makes you feel Nakamura's winning streak is over, so it makes Corbin more likely, like in the rematch, for you to think Corbin could win.
Yeah.
Because if he retained his undefeated streak and Corbin had the title, you would think there's no way Nakamura is losing to Corbin straight up for his streak. But now that his streak will be broken by Corbin, all's game.
Yeah.
Or all's fair. So I'm going with Nakamura.
Same. And I think the exact same thing's going to happen where Nakamura is going to win and then Corbin is going to cash in and win the title. And I think it's a night of, I think it's definitely 2 cash-ins.
I don't think we've ever had 2 cash-ins in the same night. So that's a good way to make history.
At least not for a long time,
Yeah. Big Stupid said it was Orton versus Barrett when they fired Cena. Orton won, but Nexus attacked him before the match, hurting him. Then Miz cashed in. He didn't attack him, so he actually did cash in. He did. So what happened was Nexus attacked him after the match, I guess, after he beat Barrett, and then Miz came out afterwards. Actually, because now that I remember it,
Orton was kind of kneeling in the corner like, are you serious?
He was leaning up, he was leaning in the corner being like, are you serious? And then like he was like gritting his teeth and like some saliva was coming out as he literally tried to pull himself up from the ropes.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whatevs.
Yeah, so like I said, like nobody I don't think has just blindly attacked the champion from behind. Their music is always hit, and they've always come and cashed in proper. Even if it's like in the middle of a match or right after a match, in the heat of the moment. Like I'm not saying they came out and announced it, no, but they like nobody's ever like attacked the champion and then said I'm cashing in. I don't think.
It may have. I know there's at least been people attacking the champion and then going to cash in and something happening. Like I remember they did that with Seth Rollins a lot, where he would attack a champion and get ready to cash in, and then
but he didn't actually.
Dean Ambrose would come out and stop him.
But he didn't actually do it. And B, I think I'm thinking
I know it's been
from
teased
behind has attacked them like without warning almost.
Yeah. Like I know it's been teased a lot, but I don't think that would happen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I wouldn't count Rollins at 31 because he cashed in to get himself into a match that was already in process.
Yeah, the match was in progress, and Rollins' music hit, and he's still running down the ramp. What I am referring to when I say Corbin with attacking somebody out of nowhere is that their music doesn't even hit.
And
you're focusing on the champion celebrating a victory, and literally they have it framed to where you don't see the guy come up from behind him. He literally slides into the ring behind the champion and nails him in the back of the head, and you don't really fully see the challenger, the Money in the Bank holder, until he's laid out the champion from behind already. Yeah. I don't think we've ever seen that before. And if we have, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Then we got the main event, Reigns versus Joe versus Lesnar versus Strowman for the Universal title. And this is the hardest one for me to pick. I think they're going to crown Braun Strowman. I feel like Strowman has been white hot. He survived getting into a car accident with a ambulance, and he's been dominating like crazy. This could mean they're setting him up to take a fall or lose. And I mean, there's 4 people in there, so anybody could like Reigns could get the pin on Joe.
Yeah.
But I think you're gonna get Strowman winning because just the way he's been building him, and we're gonna get Strowman Reigns continuing as a rivalry. Maybe Joe stays in there as well. But I say that, also acknowledging that any of the other 3 guys could win. Yeah. Just as easily, and I'd probably be just as okay with it.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be Strowman. I think this is his moment. SummerSlam is a huge stage. You've been building him up like crazy over the last year. He has been white hot with the fans. Like, this is the moment, unless you desperately want him to be like somebody who keeps scraping and clawing for the title and you hold off on maybe crowning him until WrestleMania. But I think now is the time for Strowman.
Yeah, I'm going to say I agree that I think and really hope Strowman wins. But it could easily be anyone else. So because it could be anyone else, I think it's going to be I'm going to say Roman Reigns because you picked Strowman. I think it's going to be Strowman. I hope it's Strowman. But if it's not Strowman, I feel like the next person after him would probably be Reigns.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like Joe is probably there to take the pinfall. Unless they decide to surprise everybody and have Joe win. Like they did at Money in the Bank.
Yeah, true.
Which could very well happen. Or not Money in the Bank, whatever that... Great Balls of Fire?
No, Great Balls of Fire is when he faced Lesnar.
What was it? Payback? I can't remember. Whatever the June pay-per-view
Extreme
was.
Rules.
Extreme Rules. Like, I could totally see that happening. Like, he could choke out Reigns, maybe.
Yeah, something similar where, like, Lesnar is, like, going to hit someone with a German or something, and then he just comes out and
Lesnar will not take the fall.
True.
And I will say, Lesnar could very well win, but I think WWE... I think they want to have the title on every single week, and this gives Lesnar an easy out of the title because it took 3 other men to beat him, and it allows for what looks like being teased to be maybe a Kurt Angle Brock Lesnar rematch at WrestleMania.
That would be nice.
Because remember, after Kurt made the match, the first time we saw Heyman and Lesnar after that, Heyman was blaming Angle for having something against Lesnar.
Yep.
So we could very well see Lesnar losing, disappearing for a while, then maybe Lesnar comes back demanding a title match and starts demolishing everything around the area, and maybe Angle stands up to him and starts attacking Lesnar, and he says, you're not gonna get your title match, but you'll get me. And maybe we'll get the Angle Lesnar thing, and maybe Lesnar will try to break out a moonsault again, or a shooting star. Maybe he'll hit it. That's all. The what? The Karen Angle Strowman story? What? What Karen Angle Braun Strowman story? I have no idea what. That's the first I'm hearing of that. Same. Karen Angle is Karen Jarrett now.
Whatever.
Heyman is pushing Joe to win. Well, Paul Heyman doesn't have intimate, like unlimited pull. So I don't know. If Joe wins, great, but I feel like Strowman and Reigns are in a better position right now. But I'm saying Joe could very well win, and like I said, I have no problem with it if it happens.
Yeah, if I have to say the person I least want to win the match would be Joe, mostly because of the fact, other than Lesnar, mostly because of the fact that I'm really pulling to at some point see, and hopefully sooner rather than later, Samoa Joe versus John Cena.
Yeah. And yes, Stinky Monkey, this is predictions for SummerSlam. We just did the main event. Now we're going to move on to matches because we're not going to be here next week. We're going to move on to potential matches that we feel are going to be announced next week, and we're going to predict those. And if those end up on the card, then those will count as predictions. If they don't end up on the card, we forget them. And if other matches come off, or like different versions of a match will get announced. I don't think stipulations will matter, but like extra people added in,
and
a match is turned into a tag team match. We'll try to announce it. We'll try to like predict it on a live stream maybe when we're on vacation.
At the very least, we could say something on Twitter and try to do a video on live stream through your phone or something like that.
We can't wait for SummerSlam either, Stinky Monkey. It's gonna be a packed and good show.
It's gonna be so good.
First match that we believe will happen is Jason Jordan versus the Miz for the Intercontinental Championship, and I think Jason Jordan is going to win. I think we're going to have a new IC champ.
Same.
Because I think the push rocket has been strapped hard to Jason Jordan now that he is Angle's son, and it ain't stopping. And we will get Jordan as a hard fighting defending champion, having to fend off the Miz and the Entourage and the Miztourage for probably the next month or two.
Quick side note that I just remembered that I wanted to bring up quickly. Friend of the show, Lenjamin, was at an airport a few weeks ago and ran into Cesaro. Got a picture with him. Also ran into Braun Strowman and Alexa Bliss. So, yeah, very interesting.
Wait, what was that?
Len
did?
Yeah, he's going on business trips for his job. And he was at airport, and I believe it was Charlotte. And he ran into Cesaro, got a picture with him, and then he said he also saw Braun and Alexa Bliss there.
Braun's one of the nicest dudes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's so goddamn nice for a big, giant, scary man who you feel could crush you with his pinky.
I loved the talking shop that they did with him on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good.
Cool. Big Stupid says the Karen Jarrett story was the wrestlers were in a bar a few weeks ago, and Karen Jarrett walked up to Braun, asked for an autograph. Braun didn't know who she was and blew her off. Then found out and begged her not to tell anyone what happened. Even if that was true, Karen Jarrett is married to Jeff Jarrett, who heads Global Force Wrestling. She really has no influence in WWE.
Yeah, which has
her
also
only WWE
joined
connection
up with TNA.
Yeah, her only WWE connection is to Kurt Angle, who she divorced because she, from what I remember from the infamous story, she cheated on Kurt with Jeff Jarrett, which is why Jarrett's married, I think. But they got divorced, so it's like I don't think Karen Jarrett really has any kind of pull in WWE to get Braun Strowman in trouble. I don't think it's a big deal.
Yeah,
I think if anything,
it was a misunderstanding.
If anything, he probably just didn't want the dirt sheets to talk about it or the conversation to be discussed by some a couple mooks like us.
Yeah,
he just didn't want it out there, people talking about it. I don't think he was afraid for his job or anything like that.
Yeah, and I mean it was a simple misunderstanding. He hasn't been a fan of wrestling all his life. He doesn't really know all this stuff, and when he realized it happened, he went and talked with her about it. I don't think he's going to get in trouble for a simple misunderstanding.
Yeah. Stinky Monkey asked, what do we think of the new Supercard tier? I have no opinion of it because I haven't touched Supercard in a couple months, to be honest.
I haven't touched it in at least a year.
Yeah, it's a new tier. It's what Supercard does. They release cards with certain stats, and then every 6 months they release it with a new tier with higher stats. So it's just all it is the number. All it is the numbers are higher, and the artwork is different. So I think I saw a little bit of the artwork. The artwork looks cool. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I've done Champions mostly. I haven't really done Supercard in a
while. Then here's the next match we believe is going to happen. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose versus Sheamus and Cesaro for the Raw Tag Team titles. I think we're going to get new Raw Tag Team Champions. I think Rollins and Ambrose is going to win. And I think it's going to be like an interesting bedfellows or unlikely alliance, like can't trust one, kind of like a Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold Steve Austin kind of like a tag team championship reign with the two of them. I don't think it's going to last long.
Also,
it's going to be interesting.
Also, John Cena and Shawn Michaels because they're going to be facing.
That's another perfect example. Yeah. But I think that's what's going to happen because Sheamus and Cesaro, they've been great. And I don't think this means they're not going to still be like Sheamus and Cesaro are going to win. I wouldn't be surprised if Rollins and Ambrose win and like Sheamus and Cesaro challenge for a rematch the next month, and then Rollins and Ambrose lose immediately and then go into a rivalry, or like Ambrose turns on Rollins or something like that. And also this gives us a chance, if should Reigns win the Universal title, we get a quote unquote Shield reunion where like maybe we get a 6-man tag match where all 3 members of the Shield are together again and they all have titles again.
Yeah. I think that's what's going to happen, but I'm going to predict Sheamus and Cesaro, and the main reason I'm doing that is because last time I predicted they were going to lose because I thought they were going to lose, and they won, and that's what screwed me over.
Well, you see, that was last time. You're making the wrong call again this time.
No, I also think, that it's a good storyline with Seth and Dean, but there could also be something that happens where one of them makes a mistake or something, and Dean gets pissed at Seth for some kind of mistake, and that's what causes a feud between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it could be a number of things that happen, and I think I'm just going to go Sheamus and Cesaro because, it's something that's a little different. That it's different than what you have, makes it a little bit more interesting with the predictions and everything.
Yep. Then with the Raw Women's title, we originally had Bayley versus Alexa Bliss, but poor Bayley cannot catch a break this year. Well, she did catch a break, technically. She hurt her shoulder, which we were saying last week. We thought that shoulder injury was legit and that it looked bad. I don't know. Did they say how long she's out for?
I haven't heard how long she's out for, but I know she's at least out through SummerSlam.
Poor Bayley. So we're gonna get either Sasha Banks or Nia Jax, or maybe the two of them against Alexa Bliss in a triple threat match. We're gonna do predictions for the singles matches. If it ends up being a triple threat, we'll do a prediction that way. We'll do like a little video or like a tweet or whatever.
Well, I think I already know how it would go, but anyway.
Me too. I think, like I said last week, I think this still feeds in perfectly well to a Sasha Banks Bayley WrestleMania match.
Exactly.
And I think if Sasha is involved in that match, I'll just do the prediction for the triple threat anyway. I think if Sasha's involved in this match, she's winning.
Really?
So my prediction is Sasha Banks if it's a singles match straight up, or if it's a triple threat match.
I think if it's a singles match straight up between Alexa and Sasha, I think Alexa's winning.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I just have this feeling that Alexa is not going to lose to Sasha, at least not right now. Especially with the way that went. And if she faces Nia Jax in either a singles match or in a triple threat match, I think Nia's going to win then. Because I think the next person right now...
Nia?
Yeah, because I think if Sasha's going to win the title, it's going to be closer to WrestleMania, and that's when Bayley's probably going to come back from injury, and that's when it's going to feed in that. I think it's kind of Nia's time now. So I think if Nia's involved, she's going to win.
I think Sasha's going to be the one to beat Alexa because that gives more weight to a Sasha Bayley match. Because when Sasha comes back, that's something she could throw in Bayley's face, is you couldn't beat Alexa and I could.
I mean,
and I'm not saying Nia can't come in, maybe take the title from Sasha, and then Sasha wins it back maybe while Bayley's gone. I'm not saying I'm not saying Sasha's gonna reign until WrestleMania here, but I think she's gonna beat Alexa in order to add that extra bit of weight for when Bayley comes around. That's something Sasha can throw into Bayley's face when she turns on Bayley.
I just think in general it's gonna be about how Bayley beat Sasha to go to SummerSlam and then got injured, and Sasha got the chance that she deserves, and she's back and wants a title match. But like I said, I think if anyone's going to beat Alexa, I think it's going to be Nia.
I don't think it's going to be Nia. I think if it's Nia versus Alexa, I think Alexa's going to win just because she is so marketable and popular right now and you're making so much money off of her. And the only other female superstars I feel who can make more money in merch than Alexa, and this is across even SmackDown with the exception of maybe Naomi because she's got the glow thing going on, is Bayley and Sasha.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think Nia beats Alexa, wins the title off of her, holds it for a little while, and then Sasha ends up beating Nia. It's a long fought thing, but Sasha ends up beating Nia for the title, and that's when Bayley comes back and says that she wants a shot.
Yeah. I don't know if that went through audio-wise, that tip, but Big Stupid, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. He says maybe the WWE writers should take some ideas from y'all and actually try to book for the future on what they are doing. They might be booking. I think they're booking for the future. Yeah, they're not stupid. They work their asses off, and I'm pretty sure they're booking for the future.
Not to mention, especially just like what we've been talking about of everything with things like Roman and Braun, and with Bayley and Sasha, and all these different groups.
Jason Jordan, what they're doing with Chad Gable right now.
Yeah, they're booking all this stuff for things in the future that could lead even to WrestleMania. But that being said...
Shinsuke and AJ that tease at Money in the Bank.
Yeah, if WWE would like to, contact us about doing something like that, I would gladly do it, because I would not mind seeing my creative ideas end up on TV.
Yeah, I mean, being a writer is also really hard, At the end of the day, Big Granddaddy Vince has the final say.
Okay, he could have the final say, but if I get even one of my ideas on TV, I can say, hey, You know that storyline? That was my
I'm talking in
idea.
relation to criticism to the writers.
True.
So it's like, Big Daddy Vince is the final say, and there are other people below him, but above the writers that also have a say that could change things. So, like,
True.
I wouldn't go blaming the writers for everything, for anything that goes wrong storyline-wise.
Some things I blame them for, but not much.
Yeah. Then we have, for a potential number one contendership match for the Raw tag team titles, the Hardy Boys versus Gallows and Anderson, which would have involved the Revival, but Scott Dawson got hurted.
Yeah, he tore his bicep.
The Revival also can't catch a break. They just, was it Dawson or Wilder who had just come back from an injury?
Wilder had just had his jaw fractured and wired shut for 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And now he's back. They're kicking ass again. And now this happens. And I'm just like, come on. In my opinion, they are the best tag team on Raw.
Car fail indeed, big stupid. Car fail indeed.
Yeah, in my opinion, they are the best tag team on Raw, and they cannot catch a break.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to pick... if it was a triple threat match, I might have picked the Revival.
Oh, if it was triple threat, I
would. But now that it's Hardy versus
Revival.
Gallows and Anderson, and I don't think the WWE has much faith in Gallows and Anderson at this point, which is sad, because I feel like they should.
Yeah. Well, they've been having a little bit more on them. Just so you know, and you're a little more informed. Like this last week, they did a match of, I think it was Gallows and Anderson versus, I think it was Big Show and Enzo.
Mm-hmm.
This last week, something along those lines. And they came out and they did a nice long promo talking about how they were the good brothers and called Enzo and Big Show nerds, which they've been doing the last couple weeks, is calling them nerds. So I think they're starting to put a little bit more faith into them.
Yeah. We'll mention this again, Big Stupid, at the end of the podcast, but DMurph does have a Twitter account now.
Yep.
He is on the Twitter, so make sure you go and follow him. Check him out. It's DMurph_42, capital D, capital M.
Yep. And I'm just going to once again point out that you should definitely follow me because of the fact that, once again, probably not going to be able to watch SummerSlam live, but me and my friend JJ, who's down at Full Sail University.
Frequent NXT fan in the crowd.
All the time.
Camera side.
He is going to be meeting up with me while we're on vacation because we're going on vacation in Orlando. We're going to be meeting up and we're going to be watching TakeOver live, and I'm going to be live tweeting that. Mm-hmm. So follow me and you can join.
Back on the subject, I want to say Gallows and Anderson, especially because I kind of want the Hardys to keep losing so they could finally do their goddamn broken thing. Mm-hmm. But I don't think the Hardys will lose at SummerSlam.
Okay, one thing I will
not now that the Revival's out. If the Revival was out, I would say the Hardys are going to lose and the Revival is going to win.
One thing I will point out though for you is if at least these two tag match things do happen, if Ambrose and Rollins were to win, that means that Sheamus and Cesaro would get a rematch. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this might not be
a little bit of a time.
Match.
Which would give that a little bit of a time for if Gallows and Anderson were to win to continue into the broken gimmick, especially if they were to attack the Hardys more afterwards.
You know what? You just convinced me to change my prediction.
I was just letting you know because of the fact of with what you predicted before.
Well, Gallows and Anderson also they desperately need the wins.
Yeah.
I want them to win, and the Hardys can take the loss, and maybe it'll help build towards them doing their own version of the broken gimmick because I think they still haven't gotten the legal rights yet to it.
It seems like they're going to be going with Awoken.
Yeah.
But whatever. I'm going to pick the Hardys just because based on what I predicted earlier, I think if Sheamus and Cesaro win and they retain, especially with the Revival being out right now, Gallows and Anderson versus Sheamus and Cesaro, they did one match like that already and it wasn't that great. Mm-hmm. But the Hardys
got two heel tag teams going up against each other.
So that's why I'm picking that because if Sheamus and Cesaro win, the Hardys would be a better match to go up against them than Gallows and Anderson.
And then
as much as I love Gallows and Anderson.
Our final potential match that might happen at SummerSlam, this will probably be a pre-show match. Zayn and Ty Dillinger versus Mike Kanellis and Aiden English. We put them together in a tag match because there are so many matches already on SummerSlam. I don't think they're going to fit to I saw that. Yep, we'll get to it in a second. I don't think they're going to put them both into two separate singles matches.
Yeah, they're probably, and especially with all the matches that are on the card, if they do a match with them, it's definitely going to be a tag.
And I think I'm going to go with Sami Zayn and Ty Dillinger just because I don't want to see Mike Kanellis and Aiden English lose. And Big Stupid says, I think he just Jedi mind tricked you, Murpho. Yeah, I think he did. He might have. But you know what? I'm comfortable with it. I'm comfortable with the decision. I'll live and die by it. And who knows? That might not even end up being a match at SummerSlam.
Exactly. It's something
it's a
that
potential.
may not even happen. And I only suggested, like I said, I made my decision based on what I had predicted earlier. If I had predicted that Ambrose and Rollins were going to win, then I probably would have picked Gallows and Anderson to win.
Yes.
It's going based on what you have previously predicted.
That right there is our SummerSlam predictions. Now, my back is in a little bit of pain, so I'm going to go put you over there, and we will see you again. I will see you again after SummerSlam. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay, Daddy's going to keep you safe.
One thing that I will mention while he's doing that is there has been some news about a recent release from WWE, and that is WWE.
Long awaited by a lot of smart wrestling fans.
And that is Eva Marie has been released from WWE, which I have to say I was not a fan. But I feel bad because unlike some other people who have joined WWE, she tried. There are videos of her training with Brian Kendrick, and this is before he came back to WWE.
She really
for the whole
did
Cruiserweight
try
Classic.
and go all out. Like, she did try to get herself ready.
She tried, and it didn't
Unfortunately,
work out.
It didn't work out.
Yeah.
Like I kind of feel bad because like I hated her for so long because she was bad and she wasn't trained. Then she got trained, and I feel like she never got her fair shake once she did get trained. It's hilarious. She got break after break when she didn't know what the hell she was doing, and then once she figured out what she was doing and was starting to work towards getting better, they didn't give her a chance.
But, I mean, the issue is she also didn't fully figure out what she was doing. She got a good amount of it, but she got basic training more or less. But I feel bad, but I mean, people didn't like her.
Mm-hmm.
And the other little bit we wanted to throw out there is, as of last night, it was announced that Glow, the Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling, will be getting a season 2 on Netflix.
Yes, and you finally watched it.
Yes, I finally watched it. It was very good.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, go watch it.
What did you think about it, like, as a whole? Give me a little bit more than that you liked it.
Overall, I really liked it. The, I forget his name, but the director.
Yeah.
I loved his character.
He was like a sleazy, like, filmmaker version of Stan Lee.
Yeah, and I forget the guy's name, but I've seen the actor in other things, and I've always liked his work, and I thought he was perfect for the role and did a great job in this. I also liked them having Zoya the Destroyer. That was really good, and I like the episode where she goes with the owner of the motel to his family's thing, and just the constant, I have woman. Sometimes she mad at me. She says I don't take her out places.
What did you think about all the wrestling cameos? How do you think the wrestlers did in their cameos?
I thought it was great. I loved freaking Joey Ryan as Mr. Monopoly. And it took me a little while to realize that Alex Riley was Steelhorse.
Really? Didn't get that right away?
Well,
I noticed that immediately.
But then again, that's because when they first did it, it was from a distance, and he was wearing like a leather jacket and stuff. But once they got like up close, I was like, "Oh crap, that's Alex Riley!" Hey, A-Rai.
And A-Rai hooks up with one of the ladies on the show
with Liberty Bell.
And then we also had appearances. There was also appearances by Jomo, who was good in the first episode.
Tyrus, who was Brodus Clay.
Yeah, we got Brodus Clay and Carlito, who played Machu Picchu's brothers. And then who else did we get in there? I think we got like one or two other people.
Karma.
Like, obviously Karma.
Yeah.
Who is Awesome Kong, and she did great in there as Welfare Queen.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed it. You guys heard me give my review, but now DMurph has seen it and he really enjoyed it. So that's a double Grapple Bros recommendation. It is rated M for mature, so make sure you are 18 or older before you go see it. Yeah. But definitely, if you are of age, definitely go check it out. It does have a lot of mature stuff, but it's really good, and I can't wait for season 2.
One other thing I'll point out quickly, though, which is another reason I liked it so much, is it is also the kind of show where even if you're not a fan of wrestling, you could still enjoy the show.
Yes. And that's why it's taking off so well on Netflix.
Yeah, it's really good, guys.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for wrestling. Let's get into the video game news.
And the first thing up with video games news is Overwatch news, our weekly Overwatch news. Blizzard has now done the summer 2017 games. It is currently live, where you've got regular and competitive Lucio Ball, and they've got a lot of skins. A lot of them, and they are all so good. My favorite.
They're really good. Like, compared to the anniversary event, like, these blow them out of the water.
Yeah. My favorite is Grill Master 76.
That one's
with
hilarious.
His Raise the Stakes, STEAK, blue apron on. And one thing that a lot of people point out is he is committing a sin. A beach sin, because he is wearing sandals with socks, and
Is he really?
It.
That's
yes, he is wearing
well, he is an old
sandals
fart.
with socks.
He is an old fart.
Exactly, I love it.
I like Beach McCree.
Nice.
I think it's like rugby.
Junkrat, cricket
Junkrat.
Yeah, he's my second favorite after Soldier 76, but then I guess because Junkrat is my guy. I love playing as Junkrat.
Mm-hmm. And then we've got Athena as Nike, which is awesome. The Greek goddess of, I believe, it's competition and sport.
You mean
Mercy? Mercy, yeah, Mercy.
You said Athena as Nike.
Yeah, we got Athena's another goddess. We have Mercy as Nike. For those of you who don't know, Nike is more than just a brand of sports apparel and shoes. Nike was the goddess of, I believe it was athletic competition and sports. I can look that up as we keep discussing this stuff. But yeah, that was really cool. And her wand is actually the Olympic torch.
Yeah, that was really cool. They've also got Bikini Widowmaker, which for people who are interested in that, good for them. Another one I really like is Sombra, where they've got her in this kind of aqua, somewhat scuba gear thing. It looks really cool. As far as Lucio Ball is concerned, as I mentioned last week, they've got some changes to the way it works, and it actually works pretty well. I've been playing it. I like it a lot. I have a little bit of an issue personally because when I was trying to do competitive mode, I did not get a good rating because I was being teamed up with people who weren't that good at it. I was getting more than half the goals and most of the gains, and my team was still losing. Mm-hmm. So I was kind of upset about that.
So, going back to the whole Nike thing, Nike is actually the goddess of victory, which is why she stands for the Olympics, because the victors get the medals.
Yep.
And it's also, I think, part of the reason why victors got the wreaths, because she was known to be with the Greek wreaths. She is the Greek god of victory, and the word victory actually comes, I believe, from her Roman equivalent name, which is Victoria.
There you go.
A little bit of Greek mythology lesson there for you guys.
Oh, one other skin I forgot to mention that they have, which also looks really cool, is they've got a Reaper skin that is him as a BMX biker. And one thing that people pointed out that I thought was really cool is his BMX biker outfit matches really well to Soldier 76's stunt driver one that they did last year. Mm-hmm. Really cool. I like how they did the kind of symmetry where they're similar but definitely very different, kind of how they are with each other. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, not only did they release the Summer Games, but this week Jeff Kaplan did another developer update announcing that they are doing Deathmatch in Overwatch, something he said that they would never do. They're bringing regular free-for-all deathmatch as well as team deathmatch.
Well, people were clamoring for it enough. I don't know if it's going to go over as well as people maybe think it is, because if you remember, everybody wanted to capture the flag mode, and then we finally got capture the flag, and it really wasn't that good.
Hey, I enjoy capture the flag.
Oh, well, I think I just don't know with all the classes and everything if just a straight up deathmatch will work, since all the classes I think are made to it's been a long week. Play off of each other and counter each other, and it's more, I think they're the worlds and the way the characters are made are meant more for objective based gameplay than just straight killing people.
Yeah, I know it's meant for that, but that's why it's something that they're gonna do mainly for the arcade.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun to try, and I'm sure a lot of people are excited for it. I'm just saying, temper your expectations, because who knows? The game was not exactly built to be a deathmatch style game.
Yeah. They said they also did it because of things like the whole game browser thing. Mm-hmm. And they said that when they were testing it, Jeff Kaplan himself said, we did one where we played and we had, all right, everyone play as McCree. And we did that for 3 minutes. And then after 3 minutes, everyone was like, you know what? Let's change it up. Everyone play as Hanzo. And they're saying how fun it was with that.
When they did the all McCree match, did they do it at high noon?
I'm pretty sure they did. What other time would you do it at?
No other time. No other time is appropriate.
Yeah, have you seen his watch? No matter what time it is, it's always high noon.
Oh gosh golly, look at the time. High noon. All around.
Well, yeah, and along with that, they're also introducing a new map called the Chateau Guillard. I believe it's how they pronounce it.
Where is it at? Let me see.
It's her Widowmaker. Her and her former late husband's last name.
Yeah, I think Chateau Guillard.
Yeah, and it's...
I have the notes open right here. Why did I just scroll down myself?
It's a map that is going to feature a lot of things. Like I guess there's an area outside the map where you'll be able to play, where they point out good area for people like Farah to play. But then they're also going to have a lot of areas that are tight corridors, so Reaper will have an advantage, and that they built the map so that way in different sections, different characters will be able to have a good advantage in it, which is very exciting. But it looks like an interesting map. Apparently there's going to be a lot of story details about like her past as well as what she's currently up to going on in that place, so I'm very excited to get to see what's going on with that.
Ugh. Why do I feel like you're gonna find like a room with like a bed with rustled sheets and just blood stains from where she assassinated her husband, and she just never bothered cleaning it up?
I don't think there will be that, but
like
it's
maybe
possible.
she like I don't think they'll go as grim as like maybe the body is still there, but like maybe there's like dried blood stains from where she killed him or whatever.
I'm thinking that one of the main things they're gonna do is have some kind of like Talon related stuff around, like letting you know about different missions that she has, or upcoming missions potentially. But that, as of right now, brings us to the end of the weekly Overwatch news. But if you haven't gotten a chance, go play Lucy Ball. It's a lot of fun.
Which will not be weekly for the next 2 weeks because we'll be on break.
Yeah. It'll be our episodely.
Episodic
yes.
Overwatch news.
And next bit of news is Fallout 4 is getting a Game of the Year edition. It's going to be releasing September 26th. So it's going to be coming with all the DLC that has come out for the game. And along with that, there's also going to be another release of the Pip-Boy edition of the game.
The Pip-Boy edition, which came with this thing.
Yep.
I got the Pip-Boy edition when I got Fallout 4, and I only played Fallout 4 for like 10-15 hours because it's a massive game and intimidated the hell out of me. But I have this Pip-Boy that I can wear whenever, even though the latch doesn't like to work. The latch doesn't like to stay on.
Yep. I've always been a big fan of Fallout, and I already have all the DLC and everything. Thank you, Season Pass. But it is very interesting to see that they're doing a Game of the Year edition of this. Really?
I'm gonna get it to work.
Really?
I'm gonna get. I'm gonna wear my Pip-Boy. I'm showing everybody what they can do with the Pip-Boy edition.
They can look like fools on their podcast.
Pip-Boy edition. See, I got the Pip-Boy. It's like I'm a Fallout character and stuff with things. Let me tune this. It's the radio. Get some old timey music on here.
That's not necessarily a radio, because they use that to go through the different menus. Shut up. This right here is the radio.
All right, fine.
See how it says tune? And you see how there's a different menus there? God, such a noob.
I'll turn your face. There's some mutants over there. The minimap's telling me.
This is really good for the audio people out there. Yep. People listening to this Sonic adventure.
Ah, you're hilarious. Yeah. Pip-Boy. All right, I'm gonna put the Pip-Boy back.
All right. Next bit of news. We've got a new Samus 3DS XL that's going to be coming out from Nintendo, releasing on September, which one was it? 15th, along with the game Metroid Samus Returns. Might be a good time to get a hold of a 3DS XL. I've been looking to get one at some point, but that requires money, so yay.
I mean, I've already got my 3DS XL, so I'm good. I actually still have to go get through Pokemon X and Y, and I also have
Sun and Moon.
Well, I have Pokemon Y, I think, or X. No, I have Pokemon X, but I own both Sun and Moon, and I haven't touched them yet because I'm trying to get through X. So I really need to get through that.
You should try a Nuzlocke run.
A what run?
Nuzlocke.
What the hell is that?
It's a specific kind of run that people do in Pokemon where they have strict rules, such as you are, with each area that you go into, you're only allowed to try and capture the very first Pokemon you run into in that area. If you catch it, that is one of your Pokemon. If you don't catch it, you miss out on having a Pokemon from that area of the game, and you're not allowed to try and catch one from there. They also have it where every time you win a gym battle, you must take a member of that team that you won with and do a wonder trade, where it's basically you trade it off to a random person around the world and you get whatever they happen to send your way, and it's a totally anonymous thing. And if any of the Pokemon get knocked out, they are considered dead and you have to permanently release them from your party.
Screw that. Yeah. Screw that noise. I want to have fun with my games. I don't want to make it extra hard on myself. It takes me forever to get through a Pokemon game to begin with.
Yeah.
I don't even want to. I don't know.
One of my favorite things about it, though, is to make it more difficult to deal with that, you also have to come up with a custom name for every single one of the Pokemon you catch.
Nope.
One of my favorite ones I've seen is I saw someone doing a Nuzlocke run, and they decided that with their last Pokemon they caught, that they were gonna, name it after someone very important in their life, and they were gonna name it after their dad, and they literally named the Pokemon My Dad.
Stream Pal's asking, what's your guys' opinions of Hellblade or the upcoming RPG ELEX? I don't know what either of those are, to be honest with you.
I've heard of Hellblade, but I don't know too much about it.
So, unfortunately, we don't have an opinion, Stream Pal. If you can educate us, maybe we'll form an opinion. If you can, remind us or explain to us.
You can even send us some information in the email.
Yes, Super Grapple Bro. Steam games. I haven't had a chance to play them. They just come out on Steam. I've been all about PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, man.
Yeah, I've just been doing Overwatch lately. Between trying to watch wrestling and trying to do this whole Lucio Ball thing, I've been kind of had all my free time.
But I'll definitely take a look at them. Maybe in a future episode I'll give my opinion on them.
And speaking of Steam, our final transition news for this episode.
Perfect segue you gave us there, Stream Pal. Thanks, buddy.
They have announced that their service is growing. They're getting roughly 1.5 million new users every single month. Getting on Steam, playing games on Steam, all that jazz.
All hail the glorious PC Master Race. We grow stronger with every day.
Reminds me of a console pleb. I was gonna say, reminds me of a meme that I saw earlier today, which is a guy standing in front of a group of 4 people playing on a console, being like, PC is better than that. Overall, it's stronger than the consoles. Stop having fun. But yeah, and I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that one of the reasons that they're continuing to grow is the fact that they keep bringing games to the table like PUBG.
Yep,
it's blowing up like crazy.
PUBG, H1Z1, also just PC gaming is becoming more of a mainstream thing. A lot of people want to experience stuff, and especially with the fact that now a lot of Steam games can do 1080p 60 frames per second, and the consoles just can't do that. Even the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, for a lot of their games, they can't do 1080p at 60 frames, and PC can. So people are going over there. Plus, Steam just has a wider variety, a wider selection. They've got indie games. They've cornered the market on the early access games, which is how H1Z1 and all those survival games, and PUBG has thrived. Plus, just like I said, better graphics and stuff, and it's a really cool system. I feel like the store is a lot easier to navigate than say the PlayStation store, the Xbox, Microsoft store, and you can't beat them Steam sales, especially the Steam Summer Sale.
Yeah, definitely. My problem with it is the fact that I don't have a good PC and I don't have money to buy games.
Mm-hmm.
I recently got my laptop to start actually working again, as in the screen doesn't black out anymore. Yeah, it was doing that for a while. It's not just going dead anymore now that I took it apart and put it back together, thankfully. And I started playing, attempted to play Guild Wars 2 for the first time in actually, I'll put it to you this way. This is how long it's been since I played Guild Wars 2. I opened it up and I found
dust.
I found that I had a bunch of mail, and in that mail was my 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th anniversary birthday gifts.
Yep.
So it's been a while since I played, but I was barely able to handle that.
Yeah, Stream Pal also says, which is also true, load times and download times on PC games are quicker if you have an SSD in your computer, which is becoming the standard. Yes, it does. And he explained Hellblade and Elix to us. Hellblade is an atmospheric third-person adventure game, mainly story-driven, and as far as he can tell, it's a third-person action-adventure game. It looks really immersive. And Elix is an upcoming RPG similar to Shadows of Mordor, but with guns and sci-fi, expletive deleted. So those both sound really cool. I'm definitely going to have to look into them, so thanks, Stream Pal. And he asked for some DS game recommendations.
Pokemon.
Link Between Worlds.
Link Between Worlds.
Legend of
Pokemon,
Zelda, Link Between Worlds.
Pretty much anything Fire Emblem.
Ocarina of Time, 3DS. Any Mario Kart on 3DS.
Mario Kart in general.
I haven't played it yet, but I've heard good things about Xenoblade Chronicles on 3DS. They have Xenoblade Chronicles, I think, 2 or a sequel coming to console now. So yeah, and again, any what did I say? Pokemon games. So, well, you should enjoy Xenoblade Chronicles. There are lots of good JRPGs on the 3DS if you just look for them. There is also, again, Pokemon's an RPG. Zelda, Link Between Worlds is technically an RPG as well.
Fire Emblem is a JRPG.
Fire Emblem, yeah, those games are highly rated. Those are also on the 3DS, so Fire Emblem games. So yeah, there's lots of good RPG stuff, especially like old school kind of JRPG stuff on the 3DS. Mm-hmm. And with those recommendations, that does it for episode 19 of the Super Grapple Bros podcast. Mm-hmm. Once again, I'd like to remind you guys that we will be sitting out the next 2 weeks worth of shows as we will be on
mini stuff here and there.
As we will be on vacation, we're going to try and get some mini live streams on Twitch. Uncertain about whether we'll be able to get audio versions of those up. We will give it a shot, but no guarantees. So if you want to get any like maybe last minute predictions or see maybe our initial reactions to SummerSlam, please head to twitch.tv/lmurpho and keep your eyes tuned, get notifications set up, and keep your eyes peeled for when we might go live while we're on our trip.
And don't forget to check us out
you can
on
also
Twitter, too.
Yep. We might also do those updates on our Twitters. Mine is L_Murpho. His is DMurph_42. So be sure to give us a follow there to keep track with us as we're on our vacation then. As far as the podcast goes, in addition to Twitch, you can find us on VOD, also on Twitch when I save it into the highlights. Mm-hmm. You can also find us on YouTube at youtube.com/LMurphoReal. You can also find us in audio form on SoundCloud, Google Play, iTunes, and other places where podcasts can be found. Just search for Super Grapple Bros.
Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe.
Yes, every rating, reviewing, and subscription, as well as like and comment and subscription on YouTube helps us out. So be sure to help us out. Super Grapple Bros does not have a Twitter. My personal Twitter account, L_Murpho, is the Twitter account for my Twitch channel. Stream Pal was asking that. So that's clarified there. Do not forget, questions, comments, feedback, topics of discussion you would like to see us have. Be sure to hit us up at supergrapplebros@gmail.com if you can't ask us in the chat on Twitch or in the comments. And again, if you check us out on Twitch, you can be part of the chat conversation. As you guys know, we always talk to the chat when we do our podcasts, as is evident today. We had a pretty lively, healthy chat today.
Yeah, very nice.
So props to those guys. Thank you for everybody who came and watched us. I believe that's all for the shout outs. We did Twitter. We did all the others, all the podcast locations. We did the email.
Yeah.
We're good.
Just want to once again mention, we mentioned my Twitter before. It's brand new, and one of the reasons I'm doing it is because I'm going to be watching Brooklyn, and I'm going to be live tweeting that. So, you want to know my reactions? Go right then and there.
Yeah. And that will do it for episode 19 of the Super Grapple Bros podcast. Everybody, I have been L Murpho.
I've been DMurph.
And we will see you guys for another full episode of Super Grapple Bros in about 3 weeks' time.
Yep.
Until then, deuces.
Peace.
Bye-bye. Take care.
See you.
Okay, bye-bye now.